Hello and a very warm welcome to Meghan and Harry News YouTube channel. Hello, I'm Alex and I hope all is well with you. Today on GMB Good Morning Britain, they had a guest from the USA, Reverend Sharpton. Now, GMB has been one of the main UK television media platforms that have constantly indulged and promoted negative stories about Meghan and Harry. If you remember, Piers Morgan was a presenter on there and he made it his daily job to attack Meghan and Harry on that show nearly every day. This is the same Piers Morgan who eventually resigned and is still continuing his negative attacks elsewhere. This is the same Piers Morgan who went to dinner with Camilla with Jeremy Clarkson just a week before Jeremy Clarkson wrote that article attacking Meghan in the Sun newspaper. So today GMB are backtracking somewhat, due to the public becoming wise to the way they carry on, due to the Netflix documentary and recent book release, and they had this guest on there this morning called Reverend Sharpton. Reverend Sharpton is a civil rights activist, a Baptist minister and politician. He hosts his own radio show called Keeping It Real, and he certainly told the GMB hosts what is going on. Here we see civil rights activist Reverend Sharpton defends Meghan Markle, saying she was turned into a symbol, but that it was not of her own making. Now, I don't think this will get much media exposure as this is telling people the way it is, and the media don't like it, so share this video around if you get a chance. This is what Rev. Sharpton said when asked about Meghan and Harry. He said, I think that when they were married, it was a beautiful day, and people were celebrating how you saw this woman of colour now in the royal family. Gospel songs sent there, sung at the ceremony, the Queen sitting there, and then the reaction was so much acrimony and just looking to treat her differently. And people, whether you're in the UK or around the world, that was always treated differently, understood what Meghan was going through. It was somebody black working in the C-suites for the first time, and they treat you differently. Or someone walking down the street, and I think she became a symbol not of her own making. When you see the kind of mean-spirited article this guy, and he means Jeremy Clarkson here, when you see the kind of mean-spirited article this guy wrote for no reason, drag her through the streets and all, yeah, fine, you can apologise, and many of us have said things not at that level that we could apologise for, but what makes you feel that you can say that in the first place? And I think in many ways they exposed what was already there, and then people tried to blame Meghan for them being exposed. So what the Reverend is saying is that the systemic racism was already there, and at first they wanted to exploit that to make them appear that the firm was inclusive and accepting of everybody. But as time went on, they couldn't help but treat her differently because it is ingrained in the way they are. But as I've stated before, what really pushed their buttons was their popularity, how they were surging ahead in popularity over the other royals. That combined with Meghan being of colour and being American as well. So an outsider, those two things is what caused them to cooperate with a negative media campaign. And that last line where he says, and I think in many ways they exposed what was already there, and then people tried to blame Meghan for them being exposed, is very true. The way Meghan and Harry have been treated, the silence from the royal family in response to the recent Clarkson article and book, and silence towards the allegations of leaking stories, the accusations of how they were treated, all of these expose what many people already assumed. So for the firm to counter this, their strategy has been to use the media to spread negative stories about Meghan and Harry, to diminish their character, to negatively affect their credibility in the eyes of the public, so that people don't take what they say seriously, and also to distract from the accusations and their own behaviour. And this clip on GMB, which is part of the negative smear campaign against them, is a rare time when someone on these mainstream channels tells it the way it is. So let me know your opinion in the comments and I'll see you in the next video.